Are you curious about what it takes to become a lash technician? Well, in this video, I'm going to tell you about the steps I took to become a lash artist. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Beautopedia. I am Miss Lash, and on this channel, I talk about things in regards to beauty, business, and motivation. I also offer digital downloads that you can use to help you plan and put your gifts into the universe. Before we jump into the video, please be sure to subscribe to this channel. Also, hit the bell for notifications. You don't want to miss any of my content that I have to help you live your best life and to propel your beauty business. So, a little bit of history about how I became a lash technician. I'm a licensed cosmetologist here in the state of Michigan. I graduated from Aveda, and I took a break for a while because life got in the way. So once I decided to jump back into it, I went between being a makeup artist and then lashes came about like during my research. So in last year was 2020, so in 2019, I looked at a couple of face-to-face lash training, them being lavish lashes and also extreme. And I do have a video about those, and I will link that video. I think I shot that video. If I did shoot that video, I will leave a link to that talking about the different training that I looked at. But I researched, and then the pandemic hit. We closed up, so then I had to find an alternate way, which was online learning, because I was on furlough from my regular job. So during furlough, I found a couple of different online trainings. The ones that really helped me the most was Six Figure Lash, and I don't think she's still offering training, but she was great. Also, Fabu Pro Online, a lot of their resources are free, so you can look at them on social media, and then they also have a YouTube as well. And then the one that I paid for was from Fixie Beauty. Fixie Beauty is, I believe, located in the UK. I caught a special. Their special cost me right about $200, so I got the training, which was, I know it was over at least 6 or 7 modules, probably up to 10. And they offered the classic. They do offer the volume training, but I just needed the classic, so I took the classic because I had taken volume training through Six Figure Lash. So with Fixie, I took the classic lash class. It cost me about $200. Plus, I got some free supplies. It was like a little free mini kit, and it had like things to start you off with, like blue lashes, chainstone, things of that nature. So I took that. You work at your own pace, which is good, but I was on furlough, so I didn't have anything else to do, so I finished in like a day or two. And from that point, then I looked at whether I was going to wait because I needed to move, or I was just going to go into a physical location. And we were still in the pandemic, and some great opportunities came about for me to go into a studio, so I took those. So I've been in the studio now since June, and it's been a learning experience, but I'm still in there, so I'm hanging on. But I wanted to tell you things about like how much money I spent and some tips that'll help you if you're thinking about being a lash artist. So of course, you want to do your research. Like I said, I researched quite a few different face-to-face and online schools, but you want to research and you want to ask questions that will be relevant to your situation and what you will be learning. Those classes are not cheap. Some of the face-to-face can be $1,000 and up, so you want to pay attention to that. Also in your research, you want to look at the school to see what their track record is. I know lashing has become super popular, so there are a lot of lash artists that are teaching now, and you want to know that. It's not to say there's anything wrong with it, but you do want to make sure that you're fully aware of it because they're popping up so much. Some of them may be good, some of them may be bad, but you want to find that out and make that a part of your due diligence in your research. As far as how much money it took to become a lash artist, Like I said, I spent about $200 for the Fixie training, and then Six Figure Lash. Her courses were about $15 to $25 for each one. So training wise, I would say close to about $400 maybe, training wise. As far as once that was over and I decided I wanted to go into a studio, those costs were way more. I spent well over $7,000 to about $9,000, you know, when I did my taxes, and that was throughout the year from, let's say, June to December. That's, you know, pretty much what it cost me. My studio space is a small space, but it's big enough to perform lash services. And I love it. Like, I took time about the things that I put into my studio, so you know, I love it, and I'll try to insert some video from that so you can see that. But I took my time picking the paint, the flowers, the decorations, everything. So in total, like I said, that cost was well over $5,000. You don't have to go that high, but that was just what God blessed me with, so I just work with that. When you're doing your training, you do want to take good notes. That's why I said when you're researching the training, you want to see how that flow is when you're in the class. Because all of my notes I use to create my own studio lash manuals. So if I have any questions, or if I'm not too sure about something that I'm doing, I have my book to refer to. Some of those classes, when you're face-to-face, can move kind of quick. So you have to have good note-taking skills, because you will not, especially face-to-face, you will not be able to retain all that. A lot of it is taking the class, then going back, practicing on your mannequins, plus live models. But you do want to have your notes to refer back to, and you also want to make sure that whatever training you have, they offer some support for you, because you definitely are going to need that. So yeah, make sure you pay attention to that when you're doing your due diligence. You want to take a class, you want to be good at note-taking, because you are going to need those. One of the biggest things I would say before you decide you want to become a lash artist, know your why. I know a lot of people are doing lashes now, and I'll be honest, originally I looked at it as how much money you can make. A lot of that is over exaggerated, because true, you can take 6 to 8 clients a day, burn yourself out, and make X amount of dollars. But when you start talking like 6 figures and things like that, they have a good retail, they have a good service, they have other passive income that goes into the $100,000. It's not to say that you can't do it, but it's a little bit on the road to burnout if you're just doing lashes 6-7 days a week, because you would have to be you know, to make 6 figures. But anyway, you want to know your why. You will have good days, you will have bad days, you will have good sets, you will have not so good lash sets. So you need to be prepared for that. I think that when you know your why, it becomes more than just you trying to make a dollar. Like, of course I love the money, because they tip me well and they pay full price for my services now, and that's great. But I still love seeing the finished product, and love when people give me good Google reviews. So when you know your why, whether it be I want to, you know, have this amount of money, I want to be able to go on this type of vacation, whatever it is, know your why, so when you have those bad days, you can refer back to that. So also, when you are on the road to becoming a lash tech, you want to make sure you have time to practice, and you have the tools, meaning whether it be mannequins or live models, to practice on. You want to at least, in my training they told us you want to at least have 10 live models before you start taking paying guests. In my case, I had like maybe 1 live model, and then I was off to charging or being paid for the services. Now granted, I had some bad things happen in between that, but because I was fully prepared for it, I went in and I made my adjustments. But still, I didn't have the 10 person. Like after my first person, I was off and running. but you do want to have the time to practice and devote to your skill set. So if you're working another job, I would highly encourage that, because when you originally start, it may take you a minute before you start making whatever type of money is your goal. You want to allow that time for you to have to practice on your mannequins. And just so you know, I hear this all the time, practicing on a mannequin is totally different from practicing on a human. Some people ask which one is easier. The human is the easiest. So you want to make sure you get a lot of human practicing in for your lash techniques. So before I end this video, I do want to ask, what are your reasons that you want to become a lash artist? Let me know in the comments. When you're commenting, feel free to join, or you can enter my giveaway that I will have one giveaway a month. And in that giveaway, I will be giving away things like maybe this mug you could win, or you could win a mouse pad, or there's a t-shirt also, and I'll try to insert a picture for that. But when you comment, do hashtag grow your lash biz, so I know that you want to enter, and maybe you'll be the winner for that month. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel. Also hit the bell for notifications. You don't want to miss any of my content that I have for you, and I will try to put out content each week. And you also want to take advantage of the digital downloads that I will have for you, which will help you to grow your business and to live your best life. Have a great day, guys. Thanks for watching this video. Bye.